You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips Podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes in the form of a clip from our latest Sales Tech Podcast episode featuring Rosalyn Santa Elena, who's the head of revenue operations for Clari. Here she is.
Yeah, I think from an ops perspective, I'm always looking for, I think people want to buy tech because it's cool and it's shiny, it's a new object, right?
Yay! It's shiny.
Yeah, it's like sometimes we need to have better lead routing, so we need to buy a tool. Right? We need to increase sales engagement. We need to go buy a tool. So there's always, I think the problem or something to look out for really is to not buy a tool just to buy the tool, right? You have to be very, very thoughtful around your process of what is it that you're trying to solve, right? What is the business use case? What is the problem you're trying to solve for the challenge that you're solving for the revenue team? And then look for the right solution that's going to support that. And I think a lot of times people think that they're going to buy a tool that's going to solve their problems, but they need to have a process, right? They need to have policy. They need to have governance. They need to have all these things around how they're going to implement the tool, because the tool itself is only going to be as good as you configure it and implement it and drive adoption.
So you mentioned, the fact that, the tool is not going to solve your problem. It's how do you use the tool? Well, one of the big complaints, both from salespeople and from the people who manage them and support them, is they're not utilizing the tools. So how do we get salespeople to actually use the technology they already have, much less stuff that's going to come down in the future?
Yeah, that's right. And I think that goes back to, making sure that you're selecting the system or the tool for the right reasons, right? You're very clear on what it is that you're trying to solve and what kind of value and ROI you're going to be getting from that tool, right? So if you understand your process, you understand what you're trying to achieve, what's the goal that you're trying to hit by bringing on this tool. Then when you bring in that tool, it's all about the driving the value, communicating to the sales team, helping them understand what's in it for them, right? Because us as humans, we're naturally, when we see something coming at us as change, we're like, oh, what does this mean to me? What do I need to do? How is this going to affect me? And making sure that you're really addressing the what's in it for them and how it's going to drive value, right? And making sure that when you are rolling out a new tool or rolling out a new process even, that you're driving that communication, you're being super articulate and clear about what's in it for them, what's the value, what you're trying to solve, and then make sure that you make it super easy. I mean, the thing with the technology is that there's so much automation. Take advantage of that, right? Make sure that you automate and make it as easy and simple as possible.
For a link to this full 25-minute episode featuring Rosalyn and to connect with her on LinkedIn, just click over to dailysales.tips/902 and we'll have everything for you there. Once you've done that, and hopefully subscribe to the Sales Tech Podcast along the way, be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.